and 0 the figure. Well, so much for the simple case. Now let's take it a little bit more complicated, and let's select let's see, here we go. I need the collar, and we'll look at bend, and you'll notice that there's two extra spheres there. This is the outer and inner material sphere. Select the inner one. In the same way as with the red cut-off planes here, you have the same principle with the spheres. Everything outside the red will not move at all when the joint is moved. Everything within the green inner sphere will move 100% when the joint is moved, and the blending will occur between the two. I'll spin those round. You can see how one sphere is within another, and the blend will operate between the two. If I apply a bend, position it so we can see it a bit clearer. There we are. Watch what happens when I turn on and off these spherical fall-off zones. You can see you've got a lot more control about the way this joint operates. When you're setting these up, you can often find that the spherical zones you need for the bend are going to be the same as the ones you need for side to side and for twist. Not always, but certainly as a good starting point, what I do is I copy one set of spheres over to the next joint and then work on them that way. It saves a lot of time. And you do that simply by selecting, going Edit Copy, select the next one and Edit Paste. And it's there, and you can quickly get through all the different bends. Okay, what I've loaded into the scene is just a test figure, a bit like a boiler suit, and I've colour coded the body parts so you can easily see what is what. If we think about our forearm again and give it a bend and zoom in a little closer, we can see how adjusting the joint parameters is going to affect a real piece of clothing. If I move the inner cut-off plane there, you can see how that affects the internal joint there, and again with that one, and the outer, it makes the changes. There's not going to be one set of parameters that's going to fit every application in all instances. The very nature of these is that you adjust them to suit your particular circumstance. The hard work is done with the Wardrobe Wizard by making sure that the centres are correct so that it will conform correctly, and also most of it will be right because I've taken a good average and it will fit most circumstances, but it's not going to fit all. You will need to do these adjustments. Go back to 0 the figure, and here's a good illustration of what may happen. If I select the shoulder and then apply a bend, you'll see that it's left some polygons behind, and obviously something is needing adjustment. I say again, this is not wrong, it just simply needs adjustment, and if you know how to adjust, then you're away. In this instance I need to select the inner sphere. If that's difficult to do, you take it from the body parts and you can see it listed there. And I know from experience, you can see my Y and Z scale are 3 and 2 respectively. It's a little bit small and is therefore excluding some of the sleeve. So if I increase these, let's say let's try 4, and let's try 4 there, let's see what we get. And there we are, we're now back in business. You see, by knowing what you need to adjust, the solutions are very simple, and hopefully this tutorial will show you what you needed. So all I did was that I identified what was needed, that is the inner zone needed to be increased slightly because it was just cutting off too much of the sleeve. I selected it and then increased my Y scale and Z scale in this instance, and that solved the problem. Now if I select there and bend, you see it goes up and down as it should. Let's show you another example, same thing but a different body part. Let's select in this instance the buttocks and apply a bend, and you can see there some of the inner thighs being left behind. Obviously needs adjustment. Same again, we'll select the inner sphere, and I'm going to increase the X scale just so that it adds more to the blend, more to the joint. Simple adjustment, and that does it. I can now bend this, and it bends as we need. Once you've done one side, and I'll actually pose this so that we can see the operation. Once we're completely happy with one side, we can go to Figure, Symmetry, right to left. Do you want to copy the joint zone setup also? And yes, we do. And it will copy what you've done on one side over onto the other, so you don't need to do it twice. And once you've completed all that, save it back to the library, and you're complete. So hopefully that has explained joint parameters, everything you needed to know but was afraid to ask, and takes away the mystery from it. Thank you.